Hey everybody, Roman versus with the Squashfest podcast and my co-host.
I painted my face, I'd look like an MFT member. It's the boy Harm. If I painted my face and maybe gained 15 pounds, you're telling me I can't look like Tongaloa?
I don't want to talk to you when you're like this.
Do you know which one that is?
Probably not.
So bad.
So before we get started, I got two things for you.
Yes, sir.
Number one, hold on, let me adjust the cam.
Is it because New York walks with Elias?
No.
Oh. Ah, nice. Awesome.
So
you bought a shirt.
I bought a shirt off of our website.
Uh-huh. Nice.
Smackdown Logic, and it arrived just in time to do Smackdown. I like the patch too. It came out pretty good.
Okay, cool. When we're off air, we'll have to look at the website because I'm assuming it's going to put whatever you bought the shirt.
Yeah.
But whatever we get paid for you buying the shirt, I'm assuming is going to be in a wallet.
Yeah.
Then we then have to figure out how to move. Okay. Yes. So you just supported us with your money. Got it.
Part of it was because I needed a new shirt for our wrestling podcast.
No, but it looks really good.
Yeah, I know. And it feels really good. That's the shocking part. So the second reason why I bought it was because I was like, I want to see how it feels like if the fabric came out good, how was the graphic design, that, I wanted to see the material and all that. So it was twofold, and I'm very pleasantly surprised. And now I just got to wash it and see if it shrinks. That's the last test.
Yeah, that's the last test, and then we'll see if we have to order them one size.
Bro. Like, I'm wearing pajamas, and this feels so good. Like, I could wear this to sleep.
Well, I'm naked from the waist down.
And then second,
I am definitely not naked from the waist down. I'm wearing jeans.
I have my title behind me.
You ordered a new title?
I ordered a new title, bro.
What? I love it because it's the Seth Rollins WWE World Heavyweight Championship. But it's definitely like, I don't like that because of that title when the real title is so like, that just looks flat to me, if that makes sense.
For the most part, it is flat.
No, I know, but his title, like, it's because it's got so many grooves and so intricate in the way they designed it.
I understand what you're saying completely, 100%. And it's super flat in comparison. I agree with you wholeheartedly. That is off of Amazon. That is not
It is not a $650 WWE one.
I did not pay $600 for that. I paid $100 for that.
That's still $100, Jesus. Okay. WWE, they're out here. They're out here taking people's money, wringing people dry with everything. Well, that's a perfect segue to however much they charge for this weekend's Perth, Australia thing. Because you have not watched Crown Jewel yet.
I have not watched.
We're recording this Saturday night at 6:42. You have not watched Crown Jewel yet.
Nope.
I'm not going to give you a review of Crown Jewel. All I'm going to say is much better than WrestlePalooza.
Okay. That's what I'll say. I expect
much better.
I mean, the card was better than WrestlePalooza.
I think WrestlePalooza, the problem wasn't the card. The problem was the matches for the most part didn't live up to the card, right? If you tell me you have Cena Brock, I expect Cena Brock to be better than it was. If you tell me I have the Usos versus the Vision, I expect that match to be better. The whole card was a one-match card, and that was Io and Stephanie.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into SmackDown. And usually our SmackDown reviews are faster because I feel like, especially the last couple of months, SmackDown has been lacking, and we've just been trying to like breeze through it. Be like, we got to really review this crap. This week's SmackDown, not crap. It was actually very good.
Book a SmackDown. I'm telling you that right now. I'm gonna have takes.
So we talked about it last week. I think we did it off air. It might have been on air. I don't remember, about how Road Dogg was the creative director of SmackDown.
Yes.
Did you see the news earlier in the week?
No, I did not.
He's still the creative director of SmackDown, but they changed up the team around him. Okay. So basically, it's more of a cumulative effort to now book SmackDown, as opposed to it just running through Brian James. So, and if whatever they did this week showed, because this SmackDown was one of the better SmackDowns since WrestleMania.
Yep.
So the one lull of the show is how it started off. That's the one thing. It's like Cody Rhodes' 10-minute long-winded promo. I can do without.
The vast majority eat it up.
I know. But he came out and he just talked about wanting to win at Crown Jewel, but him wanting to win at Crown Jewel, and then he didn't understand how big of a match it was until he watched Seth and Heyman on Monday. Mm-hmm. And if you're the champion and you're the number one guy, if you're QB1, to put into football perspective the way he loves to do, I don't want to hear that this match isn't important to you. Like, that's the way I took it. Like, Cody's like, yeah, I wanted to win the Crown Jewel champion because I'm QB1 and I want to carry this company into the future and everything else. But then I realized, listening to Seth and Heyman, how big of a match this is for Seth. And now I need to win this match to take it away from Seth Rollins. That's the way I took this promo. And I'm just like, this is why I don't like Cody. Like, because it's the same. It's 2007 Cena to me, where there's no dimension to his character.
Yeah.
And it just feels boring to me.
I'm going to need you to stop running down my guy to make the comparison, but okay.
We'll get to that when we do the recording tomorrow for Jewel, because, and just to say this, I'm not a Cena guy. Mm-hmm. Cena might have 4 of the match of the year candidates this year.
Nice.
In his final run.
Nice.
So I might have to rethink my John Cena hate for at least for 2025. Because I mean, it's not hard to have a great match with AJ Styles, but Cena, for some reason, he does. And even going back 10 years ago, his feud with AJ Styles, I remember we were all in your cousin's house watching the SummerSlam match, and I got blackout drunk, decided to because you guys were recording me going crazy.
Yes.
But Cena and AJ have always had really good chemistry.
Yeah.
So that match, when you watch it, we can actually watch it after this if you want. I'll have no problem rewatching that match. And watching your reactions to it, because that'll be fun. Actually, I might record it, and so we can make content out of it.
I get it.
Your reactions to it. But I'm just like, Cody just has no dimension to him. And this is why I feel like and it's a lot of the same way I feel about Jey Uso, how I care more about Jey Uso now because he's now
there's depth.
There's depth to his character because of the Roman stuff.
Yeah, there's layers.
And Cody just doesn't have that.
Yeah. Which
is why I hope they pull the trigger on the Randy Orton feud at some point, because then you'll have an actual story I care about. That's fine. So later, Cody is approached by Jacob Fatu in the back. And Jacob looks at him and he goes, when you're done with the set stuff, and he looks at the title, he goes, you know what I want? And Cody was like, I forget what Cody said. He basically goes, bet, I got you. Yeah. And he walks away. And so coming out of that same segment, Nick Aldis walks up to Jacob Fatu and he goes, Jacob, I need to talk to you about something. Well, come meet me in my office. Why he couldn't just talk to him there, it made no sense to me. But you needed to get Nick Aldis off screen so that way Drew McIntyre can come on screen and beat the crap out of Jacob Fatu. And then immediately, Nick Aldis runs back and says, Jake, why did you do that? I needed to talk to him, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So that was the first segment, because later we have one later, Jacob comes back and beats down Drew McIntyre and they pulled them apart. But basically, Nick Aldis just tells him, I'm if you didn't beat him down, I was going to tell him I already made a match for next week between the two of you. I think that's a separate segment later, but whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of segments including those guys. But so yeah, next week we'll get Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu.
Which should be a banger.
Should be a great match. Like, those are two of my favorite guys. Like, Drew to me, again, if he's not in the main event, he's the guy right under the main event who you can always slot back in there. He's like Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Like, he's respectable enough. Yeah. That you could put him there and no one will say, why is Drew getting a title shot? Because he's Drew freaking McIntyre. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Like, look, I can picture Vince McMahon come when he came back. I'm like, you're the same guy released 10 years ago? What happened? I'm gonna push you to the moon. All right. So then we have our first match of the night. Sami Zayn U.S. Championship Open Challenge. And he said Shinsuke Nakamura. We've been hinting at this for weeks that Shinsuke Nakamura was going to be Sami's feud. And Shinsuke got his old music. He got his old walk to the ring. He got his ring attire was very similar to NXT Shinsuke. He got all of the packaging that made Shinsuke great. And not whatever they were doing before he left.
Yes.
So
I was pleasantly pleased when he first came out.
Absolutely.
I was like, oh my God, does that mean we're actually going to use this guy and use him well?
I hope so, because we talked about this. Vince didn't know how to book him.
Yeah.
And then when Vince got ousted, it looked like Hunter was trying to not revert everything back immediately to what made him special in NXT.
Yeah.
But why am I looking at this screen? I can just move you over. But he wanted to like create a different type of character for Shinsuke.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't working. So I think if you're gonna take him back to his NXT route, because I say when you talk about NXT Black and Gold, it's Finn Balor and not AJ Styles. Finn Balor and Adam Cole are your number 1 and number 2 guys in the history of NXT. But Shinsuke's right there underneath them. There was nobody more over than Shinsuke Nakamura in NXT. They have a solid match. I'm not gonna say this is a great match. They have a really good match. Harkening back to their TakeOver Dallas match, where it was Shinsuke's first night in the company and Sammy's last match in NXT, and they had a banger that 10 years ago. But this was a solid match, but it ended in a disqualification because a really brolic Samoan, actually he's Tongan, in a hoodie decided that he wanted to pull Shinsuke out of the ring and attack him. This was the first thing. Well, Shinsuke was the first, but this was the number 1 thing I took from SmackDown. We're finally doing something with these guys, because not only did Tama Tonga return and get his New Japan Gorillas of Destiny face paint back, all of them, Tala Tonga, Tonga Loa, JC Mateo, they all came with a different style face paint. They beat down Sami Zayn. Shinsuke tries to get back into the ring to attack them. They beat them down. And then Solo comes out without face paint, which I loved, because you can immediately see him not having the face paint.
Yeah. He's
the front man.
Yep.
All of the ones behind him are his soldiers.
Yep.
And that's the way I took it. And I'm just like, this is great. Beautiful.
What I loved is that immediately you gave a crap.
Yep.
As soon as they came out and as soon as they started the attack, you were like, oh my God, this is what this faction is supposed to be. And then they continued it throughout the show.
Get to that. That was a goosebump type moment.
This is how you book them. This is what we've been calling for months. Because they weren't doing nothing. And this is what it's supposed to be. They're supposed to be going around showing everybody we're the faction to fear.
Yeah.
Everybody.
How do you we've been talking about for months? How do you book Solo Sikoa and make him feared when Jacob Fatu came in and kind of stole Solo's gimmick? Like Solo was the enforcer of the bloodline.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu comes in and steals everything that made Solo special. He's the wild man. He's the one you fear. He's the one who's unhinged. Solo now needs to be the calculated leader of a group, right? And for a while, he was not doing that very well. Now with this entire group of Tongans and JC Mateo behind him, now you can really see maybe he can be that tactical leader. And if they can pull this off right, this could revitalize Solo's career, because a lot of people are talking about Solo being a future main eventer of WrestleMania. That has cooled off in a lot of months. But if you can do it right, you can position him right back to the top with everybody else.
Yeah. And they needed a super heel to get over on SmackDown because they were lacking.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, we'll get into it later, but the Wyatt Six were not doing it for me because, again, their message has gotten kind of muddled, and then they started showing more depth to them, and then they started muddling it up again. So it's like they're like in this weird place where it's like, we're gonna push them, we're gonna give them a reason for being and going after people, and then we're gonna do vignettes some weeks where it doesn't make any sense and we're reverting back to what it was, which was just Bo
Dallas was not on the show again.
I was gonna mention that. But we'll talk about it when it comes up.
Yeah. All right. So then our next match. So we have a segment backstage where Stephanie's getting ready for her tag match.
Yeah.
And Chelsea Green walks up to Stephanie McCurry.
This girl.
And Chelsea Green is like, Stephanie, I love everything you've been doing. You're the women's champion. You've done it in such a short time. And, I was the first ever United States women's champion. Mm-hmm. So I think I can help you a lot, but I need you to do something for me. And she hands her the Slade. She's trying to recruit the women's champion. We talked about it last week, where Kiana James should not be recruiting the women's champion to her faction. Mm-hmm. So Chelsea now tries to recruit her, and she tries to tell her, it's like, I see a lot in you, and I think you're going to win the match tomorrow, unlike that ungrateful Tiffany Stratton. And immediately Tiffany Stratton walks up and she goes, what are we talking about? And Chelsea's like, nothing. And she runs away, and then Stephanie just crumbles up the paper and throws it over her shoulder. And then we have the babyface conversation where, tonight we have a tag match against these two. But tomorrow it's best woman win.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Basically.
So if there was a moment in SmackDown where you could pick up your phone and not pay attention, it was this match. There was no reason to pay attention. You knew the baby faces were going to win this match. There was no reason. You got the one moment where Julia and Stephanie had the face-to-face again, which was cool. And it's like, Julia is so good, and they give her the smoke, and they give her the pop in circumstance, and she's so good in the ring, and she's being muddled down by Kiana James. I like Kiana James as a character, and I like her on the mic, but Julia is not the person who needs it. She's one of those characters, almost Asuka-like, where and I say this all the time. Vince used to say the same thing. You need to be able to talk people into the building. Julia does so much without being able to speak the language to get through to the fans that I should be special, that it doesn't matter. She doesn't need somebody to talk for her. Just put her out there and let her have a match against people.
But what it is that clearly somebody doesn't share that opinion. That's what it is. They think she needs the talker. That's the problem.
But the thing is, we don't even get Kiana coming out and talking for her. Kiana comes out and has like a 2-minute promo where she's just trying to recruit other people. And she says to them, look at everything I've done for Julia. No, you didn't do anything for Julia. Julia won that United States Championship without you, and then you recruited her into your group. like what? If it occurred, Tiffany Stratton get the win. Tiffany Stratton hits a prettiest moonsault ever to get the win after Stephanie hits it was like a pedigree into a facebuster.
Yeah.
But that's it.
At least Kiana took the pin.
Well, that was going to happen. You're not going to pin United States champion because you have the other two champions across the ring from your United States champion. So why would you have your mid-card champion take the pinfall? The only way it would make sense for Julia to ever take a pinfall in a tag match is if you're motivating a championship opportunity for a different woman.
Yeah.
And you're not going to do that with your women's champions. Yeah, so Kiana had to take the pinfall. Hold on.
He's yelling because he's saying, there's the sign on the door. Why are you coming in my room? I'm recording the podcast.
She goes, it wasn't while it's hanging from her hand.
I can't.
All right. So then, we got our backstage segment where Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are watching this tag match. Zarya and Sol Ruka walk up to them again. And Charlotte looks at them and says, Sol Ruka says, I think we're almost ready for our tag team title match. And Charlotte's like, don't get too far ahead of ourselves. And she keeps doing the thing where she means us, but she's saying me.
Yeah.
Because she can't remember that she's in a tag team because this is Charlotte Flair we're talking about, and my ego's still too big that I'm forgetting that I'm in a tag team.
Which is fine, I think, because it lets her character still be her character.
Yeah, absolutely. And it still plays off. It still plays off the Alexa trying to have to remind her that it's not just you anymore; it's us.
Yeah.
So, and to your point last week, the majority of this backstage segment was handled by Zarya. So Zarya says, "No, we're ready," and she said something, and Charlotte says, that was rude, but you know what? It was bold, and I respect it. I respect bold. And she said, no, we're ready for our. She goes, at a certain point. So Ruka said, at a certain point, somebody gave you two an opportunity, and we're not going to wait around for our opportunity. We're going to come and take it. And Zarya goes, and we're ready for it right now. And that's when Charlotte says, that was rude and bold, but I respect it. Request granted. So next week on SmackDown, we're going to get that tag team title match between Zarya and Sol Ruka and Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss.
Charlotte and Alexa definitively win.
No, they definitely win because you have Sol Ruka, who already has two championships on her. Yeah. And eventually, this is again soft, just like Javon Evans. This is a soft call up for Zarya and Sol Ruka. They're ready. Zarya came into NXT ready for main roster because of the independent background she has. The only thing she needed to do, was wrestle in front of a camera and learn how to really cut a promo in the WWE style. Sol Ruka, we talked about it last week, has only been wrestling for 3 years, and she's athletic as all get out, and she's amazing. I think Sol Ruka is going to be a huge star for that company one day. And but in this story, they're telling the story of both tag teams not being on the same page. And I know you don't watch NXT, but they're also telling that on NXT where Sol Ruka and Zarya.
I can see from the backstage. You can tell.
Yeah. So
they're always kind of arguing, but not really arguing.
But but they're so different characters. That's the thing.
Yeah.
One looks like she's out of Mad Max, and the other one looks like she's out of that Keanu Reeves movie where he's the undercover cop with the surfers. I forget. Break. Thank you. I was going to say Point Blank, and I knew it was wrong, so I didn't want to say it. Point Break. Thank you.
Point Blank.
And I was like, that's not the right name of this, so I'm just going to keep talking. Hopefully he knows what I'm talking about. So they're getting ready to leave, and instead of walking together, they turn and walk into each other. Zarya and Sol Ruka.
Yeah.
And then they walk away, and Charlotte Flair goes, look at them. They can't even get on the same page. And then Alexa and Charlotte, instead of walking the other direction, turn, and one walks off camera left, one walks off camera right. And Alexa goes, Charlotte, it's this way. She goes, I knew that, and then goes. So they're telling the story of neither one of these two teams, maybe these teams being on the same page. But this match should be really good next week. Then we get our tag team championship match between the Wyatt Six and the Street Profits. And this was a fun enough match, but
why is Bray not on TV?
It's not Bray. Bray's deceased.
My
Bo.
bad. Why is Bo Dallas not on TV?
I don't know. Bo wasn't on last week. Bo wasn't on this week. And
they keep making it look like Rowan
is the leader. Correct.
And I don't like it.
I mean, again, if it's not going to be Bo, he should be the leader because he's the only original member of the Wyatts. I get it. But I don't know why he's not on TV. He hasn't been on TV. He was on TV 2 weeks ago when he spoke to Montez or Dawkins or one of them when he got pinned up against the wall.
Yeah.
When he got pinned up. Oh yeah, when Montez pinned him up against the wall. But last week he wasn't on the TV screen vignette with them. And this week he wasn't in
Australia. They still take out the chair.
Yeah, they still bring out.
So it's not like they're forgetting about him, but maybe they.
Well, the chair isn't him. The chair is supposed to symbolize Bray. So you still need to have the chair there.
Howdy's always sitting in the chair.
Yeah, but the chair itself with the lantern is supposed to be a symbol for Bray Wyatt.
I thought the lantern was. I didn't know the chair was.
Well, remember, Bray used to come out and just sit in a chair and rock and watch the Wyatts wrestle all the time. Oh yeah, whenever the Wyatts, Luke Harper and Rowan had a match, Bray would do what Bo does. Bray would just sit in the chair and just watch. But yeah, so we have this match. It was a fine match.
Street Profits came out with older music.
Street Profits came out with their original music, which is great because that music is great.
They looked great coming out. They looked like they were on the same page.
But they didn't really tell that story during the match.
No.
That's where I think they fumbled a little bit. I understand it's to get to the end because the end of the act, we'll get to the end in a minute, but you can tell the story getting to the end of the two of them still not being on the same page. Montez and Dawkins.
Yeah, they scrapped that for this match.
100%.
They were hitting all cylinders.
Uh-huh.
And again, they always put on great matches.
Yeah, the one moment where you can maybe, but I think you might be reaching a little bit, was towards the end where Dawkins where he goes to hit the plancha on Rowan instead of being there to protect the pinfall from Montez. But that's a reach.
That is a reach.
But so towards the end, Rowan gets B-Fab is ringside with Street Profits for this match. So is Rowan and Nikki Cross. So Nikki Cross gets involved. She puts Gacy's leg on the ring on the bottom rope to break up the pinfall. B-Fab hits one of the ugliest. B-Fab hits Nikki Cross. Throws Nikki Cross over the top of the stairs. Yes. She misses it. She throws her over the top of the stairs, which gets Rowan to stand behind B-Fab. She turns around and she's not scared of this giant redwood, which was my problem altogether. It's like, B-Fab, I understand you're supposed to be this non-fearing woman who always wants to fight, but there's a 6'6" giant red bearded man behind you. You should be afraid of him. But she looked like she was about to square up with Eric Rowan. And then all of a sudden, Nikki Cross comes jumping off the ring steps to tackle B-Fab. And I don't know if B-Fab was too many steps away from her, but that was ugly because Nikki Cross kind of landed at her feet at her waist to tackle her. Mm-hmm. And she's also small, so it probably just looked bad. So she tackles her. And then that's when Montez hits a plancha on Rowan. Mm-hmm. Rowan gets back up. Dawkins hits a plancha on Rowan. Mm-hmm. Montez is the legal man. He gets back into the ring, it goes for the 5-star frog splash. I always call it 5-star frog splash because it's amazing. RVD. He goes for the frog splash, misses, And then Loomis and Gacy hit the play on Montez for the pinfall. Then see, I paid attention this week. So the Street Profits leave, and the Wyatts get into the ring, and their outro is hitting their strobe lights and everything, and immediately in WWE, this production was amazing because the strobe lights are hitting, and all you see is the silhouettes of the MFTs hit the ring behind them, and with the strobe lights and the face paint and everything, they looked amazing in that moment. And I'm just like, okay, cool. This is how you present these guys. This whole show to me, if they did nothing else right, they made the MFTs, to your point earlier, look like a group to be feared. And what are they going to do? Not only did they take out Sami Zayn, who they have a history with, because Solo is going to go after that United States Championship again, they're going after the tag team championships. So you're taking these guys who...
Not only that, but the only other main faction that you would have a problem with on the roster. They're like, no, we're the top dogs. And they did not care.
So they get in the ring and you get the face off.
The only reason it didn't pop off was because of Nikki. Because they don't have a female Samoan.
They don't have. Yeah. So
if it wasn't for that, they'd have beat the crap out of them.
Oh, absolutely. So they get into the ring, and the strobe lights, the Wyatt strobe lights are all going off around all of everybody, and it looks amazing. And again, Mo Dallas isn't here, so it's 5-on-4. So Nikki Cross, 5-on-4. Yeah. So Nikki Cross gets up in the face of Solo Sikoa, and Solo's looking down at her, and they're like, and he gives the hand signal to everybody to walk away. And they kind of take a moment, it's like, we're really going to walk away from this? And Solo's like, yeah, just walk away. And they get out the ring, and then the Wyatts circle around to get behind Nikki to make sure nothing happens as the MFTs walk away. So, yeah, they made the MFTs look amazing in this show. I can't...
This is how you book. This is how you book. You're making people look strong who should look strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I also love the fact that they jumped Sami and Shinsuke, because you don't want it. They did it in a way that neither of them got hurt. With Shinsuke coming back, it would have hurt him to lose right off rip. And you don't want Sami to lose, because then you got to give away the title.
And I'll take it a step further. They turned shit, in my opinion, with the music change and the attack and Shinsuke getting back into the ring to try to get his legs back in and help Sami, that's a babyface turn for Shinsuke Nakamura last night.
Yep.
That's the way I took it. Like,
I agree. He should be a babyface.
Yeah. So we'll see what they do next week. Maybe it's just for one night, but I took that as a babyface turn for Shinsuke Nakamura last night. Because no one wants to boo Shinsuke. Yeah. Like he's that good. All right. Let's talk about Miz and Carmelo. So Miz is backstage, and I think he was watching that show, but he's getting interviewed by Kathy Kelly. And she asked him, why did you attack Bello last week? And he said, I try to give all my wisdom to Carmelo Hayes. Who am I? And she goes, you're the Miz. He goes, no. I am two-time Grand Slam winner, The Miz. I am two-time WWE champion, The Miz. I am WrestleMania main eventer, the man who beat John Cena at WrestleMania, The Miz. For Carmelo Hayes to tell me, of all people, he doesn't need me, it was disrespectful. So you're damn right I took out Carmelo Hayes last week. This is the one thing they need to do with Miz. Every time he gets angry at somebody, he cuts one of these promos that is amazing. This was a great.
Say that when he's serious, Miz, and he's angry, he is like, who's better?
When he harkens back, I was harking back to the Talking Smack when he went off on Bryan Danielson.
I was going to say
Daniel Bryan. Yeah, with WWE, Daniel Bryan. Yes. Yeah, you're right, Daniel Bryan. The one that makes the rounds every couple months, where Enzo Amore is in the ring and Miz goes off on Enzo Amore because he felt like Enzo wasn't taking WWE seriously. That's great. Like if Miz gets into these things where he has to remind people, I'm a future Hall of Famer. Like you can laugh at me all you want for being the MTV Real World guy who no one liked because he was on it. He was on a reality show, but I still took that and turned it into a Hall of Fame career where I am a 9-time Intercontinental Champion, 2-time WWE Champion, something crazy like an 11-time Tag Team Champion. Like he's that guy. And this is how you elevate Carmelo Hayes. He needs to get this win over Miz.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And it doesn't hurt Miz.
No. Miz can lose. Mm-hmm. That's actually his job. They pay him. I don't know what Miz's salary is. I'm going to assume it's in the low 7 figures. I'm assuming it's $1 million, $2 million a year. He gets paid that to lose. Miz gets paid that to give the rub to other people.
Puts over other people. It never seems to hurt him. And he's that guy that they're never going to release.
No. To use a Karrion Kross phrase, he's a good soldier.
Yeah.
He's there. He loves it there. Yeah. He loves being that character because he understands that character work is what makes professional wrestling great.
Yeah.
And as we talk about that, let's talk about Aleister Black and Damian Priest.
I'll let you talk through it and then I'll give my thoughts.
So, this was a fun match.
Okay.
This was a fun match.
Okay.
The two guys in it are great. Mm-hmm. But I felt like they were hitting each other at 70% for most of the match.
Okay.
Because if I'm Damian Priest or also about two giant men, and I have kendo sticks in my head for the majority of this match, somebody's leaving there with welts. I'm going to hit you so hard, especially on Aleister Black, where I can see them through your tattoos. So this match was fun. It was fine. But my problem is the way it ended does not end the feud.
Okay.
This should have been the blow-off.
Okay.
I'm sorry. This should have been the blow-off.
Yeah.
Where it should have been a definitive winner. Mm-hmm. And I get why they did what they did.
Okay.
This is just going to fuel Damian Priest running into Nick Aldis's office next week saying, I need this match. And you know what it could lead to? It could lead to a mixed tag match between Aleister Black and his real life wife and Damian Priest and his newfound girlfriend from NXT. And we just got that with CM Punk and his wife against Seth Rollins and his wife. So go ahead, give me what your take, and then we'll go through the breakdown of this match. I'm going to shove a potato in my mouth.
No, go through the breakdown first.
Okay. I'm going to finish eating this. Stop putting this potato down then. So this match is fine. Towards the end, Damian Priest was in control of the majority of this match. Hit him with 2 razor's edges on the table. I don't think he ever hit him with a South of Heaven. Hold on.
Everybody coming in when we recording. Get out the room. Oh, we're still muted.
No, I wasn't. Oh, I wasn't. The reason I say that is because I literally watched her drop it the first time she left. Uh-huh. And then she's yelling at me now that there's no sign on the door.
That's your kid.
I know. So, Damian Priest is in control of the majority of this match. 2 razor's edges on the table. I don't think he ever hit a South of Heaven. He's beating down Aleister Black.
I could have sworn he hit a South of Heaven. He called it out. I remember him calling it out. He was like, oh, okay. Or he went for it and maybe
he might have went for it. Yeah. I remember the 2 razor's edges on the thing.
Yeah.
They eventually fight into the crowd. And
he was setting him up for the Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He was where he hits the South of Heaven, the chokeslam South of Heaven through the table.
Yeah.
So they fight to the outside. and they're fighting on top of the road cases to the outside. Mm-hmm. And the way they panned it, and I had spoiled this earlier from the day for myself, but the way they panned it, where you can see all the crowd behind them. And I didn't know exactly how they were going to get to what they get to. I just knew the ending. But
what do you mean?
He's setting up. Ending? So I spoiled the ending for myself because I saw a thumbnail from somebody else, but I didn't know how they were getting to it.
Okay.
So he goes for so they're on top of the road case. Aleister Black is like on his hands and knees.
He's done.
And telling
he's done.
So he's done. He's done. He's telling Damien, finish me off. There was a segment, we missed a vignette earlier about Aleister Black, but we'll talk about that after. Where Aleister was basically saying, violence becomes violence, and you want to be the best, but I'm going to put you down. That's basically what Aleister said.
Yeah.
So Aleister's done. He's like, finish me off, do it. And as Damian Priest is about to hit him, you see a little tiny person making her way past all of the fans. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty inventive, because even the fans didn't see her right away because they're so...
You see the interaction. She's like, excuse me. And
she's like, saying, excuse me to the fans.
Yeah.
With no security with her, which was great too. So the fans are paying attention to the Priest and Aleister. And so Zelina Vega comes and stands in front of the fans and makes her way over the barricade. And she gets in front of Aleister. And to everybody who does not follow wrestling online the way we do, Zelina Vega is Aleister Black's real life wife. Mm-hmm. She's asking Damian Priest, please don't do it. Please don't do anymore. And Priest looks at her and he thinks about it. And he's like, and then he looks back at Aleister and he's like, nah, screw that. So he takes down his straps as a symbol of I need to put him down.
Before that, as she's begging, you see her hand slip behind her, and I
didn't see that part. I didn't see that part of those.
She puts her hands behind her back, and then she passes him whatever the
flash paper.
The igniter or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, flash paper. Yeah. So I didn't see that part because I was paying attention to the thing. But so he takes the straps down. Zelina gets out of the way. He goes to grab Aleister, and Aleister lights the flash paper on fire and shoots a fireball into Damian's face. Damien sells it. He hits Black Mass, kicks him off the road cases through a table, and Zelina sells this so well. Where Aleister's still selling the injuries, but Zelina's like, "Oh my God, is he okay?" The entire time until the 10 count hits, and you see a slight smirk on Zelina, and she embraces Aleister, her husband, and they walk off together. And we talked about this months ago when they were doing the heel turn for Zelina, the gimmick change, where there's still the half black, half white thing.
You're starting to go into, this is supposed to be my time.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Go ahead.
Before you start your time.
Uh-huh.
The reason I say it's the people who don't understand if Zelina was Aleister's wife was Michael Cole and Wade Barrett never mentioned it. They didn't say, oh, that's Aleister Black's wife. They never said their relationship status at all, even to the point where Wade Barrett says, we have so many more questions than answers.
Yeah.
So for the people who don't, so they're playing it kayfabe wise where they don't know why Aleister and Zelina are together.
Yeah.
So for the people who only consume WWE product, maybe they don't watch the Twitch streams that they're together on. Yeah. Maybe they don't listen to the podcast, the TikToks, the podcast she does with the Dakota Kai, the casual, I'm going to say casual, even if you're a hardcore just WWE fan that's not consuming the outside, you're not going to know Zelina and Aleister have any kind of history except for that one feud he had with Andrade in NXT.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what their on-screen dynamic is going to be. If they're not going to be, this is my husband on screen. Go ahead.
The fact that you thought this was the blow-off blows my mind. This was never going to end. I told you from weeks ago that this feud was just beginning. This is not going to end. This was never going to be that. I don't know what you're thinking. You're insane to think that they were going to stop this. This is money to them. They have nothing to do with either guy. They put them together, and these are both guys that don't let things go. This was never going to end. And it's not going to end. Now, what I will say is...
McIntyre 2.0, you're having the same rant you had on the Drew McIntyre Damian Priest.
Now, the other thing is, I'm happy that they pulled Zelina because you haven't done anything with her for months. And I told you when I saw her in the all black and white that she was doing a gimmick change. But at the time, they didn't actually do anything with it. But she was dressing in all black and white. And then she had at one point the white streak in her hair.
Is that pre-Aleister coming back?
Yeah. I want to say yes.
Okay.
And then I hypothesized that perhaps they could put them together, never really thinking that was a possibility. However, you know why they put them together, right?
Because they just fired Andrade?
No, because this is your replacement for Scarlett and Karrion Kross.
That's a great take. That is a very good take.
He's a manipulative, evil bad guy. He has his
Did not even put that two and two together.
That's why they put them together.
That is a great take.
So why do I need to hold on to these guys when when they already had a backup plan? And this is the backup plan that we're seeing.
And in their eyes, maybe they even view Aleister as a better version.
Yes.
And then Karrion Kross.
I would argue that he is a better version. It's Aleister Black. And you already know that Zelina, one, she can wrestle, and she's great on the mic.
Listen. I know Scarlett Bordeaux can wrestle. They just don't let her wrestle in WWE.
No, I know she can wrestle. But what I'm saying is Zelina can wrestle, and she's hot on the mic.
Yeah.
Scarlett's okay on the mic.
Yeah.
So again, if I'm going to view it in the way I'm saying it right now, they are the better option if you had to choose.
If you did one or the other. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. If it's one or the other, obviously. If they could have kept them for what they were offering, they would have.
They could have kept them because they just gave Santos Escobar a bag for nothing. Who know? Like they have plenty of money, bro. You were so mad about that.
I saw your video on TikTok. I was just like, this guy is so bad.
And I love Santos.
He is not worth it.
And I love Santos.
History
I love
dictates. You are absolutely right. That because your take was essentially they haven't done anything with him this entire time. And of all the people who have creative thoughts and ideas and that deserve to be heard, it's not him.
That was my take. It was like, why are you keeping that guy unless you're just going to use him in AAA and he's going to main event AAA versus Dominic Mysterio for a while?
Which would make sense.
But why are you so headfast in keeping that guy when everybody else you're just like kick rocks, bro? Like that was my point.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could have kept Karrion Kross too, but that's beside the point. No, but SmackDown, great show.
I'm not finished with this. I'm not finished with the last match.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I personally, at this point in time, would take Damian off of TV.
After that, and not for a long period of time.
Not a long period of time.
I'd say 4 to 6 weeks.
That's what I was thinking. You take him off for that time. Let us breathe from the fatigue of them two fighting, quarreling this entire time. Allow Aleister and Zelina to now bolster them up for the next few weeks, get them in a hotter position. Cause right now they're hot just simply for that debut of being together. Do a couple weeks of them getting over on people, doing what they do, and then bring Damian back.
You know what's going to happen, right? It's going to be something you hate.
What?
Damian's going to be off screen for 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
And on the third week,
if it's even 2 weeks, if that.
Well, you know what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to come back with an eye patch. They're going to put an eye patch on this man. They're gonna be like, my retina got burned because of Aleister Black's fireball.
They better not.
And he's gonna be like, I don't care if I'm not medically cleared. I want Aleister Black. And then Nick Aldis is gonna be like, listen, you have one eye. I can't put you in the ring. We'll be liable if something happens to you. And Damian Priest is going to look at him and is like, I'll sign whatever you need me to sign to get my hands on him. And then they'll sign a hold harmless agreement, basically having no liability for WWE if something happens to Damian Priest. That's what's going to happen. We're going to get this. We're going to get this in a month's time at probably at Survivor Series. And it's gonna be a lights out, hold harmless match.
The man is already emulating the Undertaker. I would not be surprised if he started emulating Kane, and now he has a mask on from the burns. He's already doing a choke slam. Like, it makes perfect sense. The man is wearing black and purple. Kane was black and red.
So another way, and this is maybe a little disrespectful to what I'm gonna say. You're saying he's emulating The Undertaker. Mm-hmm. He's basically Big Dog Roman Reigns. He's in a group with people.
Yeah. Got betrayed.
Yeah. Left the group.
Yeah.
And haven't changed the gimmick. Roman Reigns for years was walking around in Shield gear with the same music that the Shield had, and everybody asked for a gimmick change from him, and he's still Big Dog Roman Reigns for years.
So you're not wrong, but you're also not right.
Because he hasn't been a world champion? Well, he has been a world champion. He's never been a world champion.
He is a former world champion. No. It's because they don't shove Damian Priest down our throats the way they were doing Roman and putting him in positions where he shouldn't.
That was just a Vince thing.
No, I understand, but that's what I'm saying. That's the difference. And not for nothing, this gimmick for Damian just works for him. I can't picture him as something else.
I understand that, yeah. I'm just saying
he's not gonna come out as American Badass all of a sudden and wearing jeans and a Puerto Rican shirt.
My thing is, like, when maybe it's just me, mm-hmm. And I'll say the same thing about Rhea, even though Rhea is so over. And it's the same thing for Roman for me when he was doing that. When I see them, I think of the group that they were in.
Oh, that's a you thing. I don't think
when I look at Damian Priest and when I hear that music, I still think of Judgment Day.
Really?
Yes, and same thing with Rhea. I still think of Judgment Day because they didn't change their gimmick. They didn't change their music. They didn't change anything of them from when they were in the group. Yeah. I know the Judgment Day has changed differently to be something else from what they were when they were in the group. When I see them, I still think of them in that group.
Yeah. I got you. I don't see it. I feel like they've already moved on from that. I agree with what you're saying that the gimmicks haven't changed. But again, for those two, it just works. You can't imagine them as something else. Imagine Rhea Ripley as something else other than what she is.
It's funny you say that because I was thinking about that earlier today when she was having her match at Crown Jewel. And just to think about blonde Rhea Ripley is weird right now. And I watched blonde Rhea Ripley in NXT UK and NXT, but just thinking about her back then, when she was teaming with Alexa and when she had the Charlotte main event at WrestleMania in the Performance Center during COVID when she came out dressed like a Saiyan, a part of the Ginyu Force, and she had the blonde like little pushback Pidgeotto hair that she had. It's just weird to think about because we're accustomed to Rhea looking like this.
Yeah.
So
also, when you were saying before what I thought about a mixed tag team, I thought Damian Priest and Rhea. Because that's who Damian goes and finds when he has a...
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. So I can see that too, but I was just thinking Lola Vice. I was totally just thinking Lola Vice because they're dating. She's on NXT. So they're going to be moving her up eventually to main roster and having her team with Damian against them would make sense.
Yeah.
And she's about the same size as Zelina, so you're not running back Zelina versus Rhea again, Like there's reasons to have Lola instead of Rhea.
No, it makes sense. And also, again, to your point, you've been saying that they need more call-ups.
Especially in that women's division.
Well, it's crazy too, because before Zelina did this, I totally forgot she even existed. Because she hasn't been used in weeks. And every time we're talking about all the possibilities of like who can come up and face who,
we haven't
mentioned Zelina because she just hasn't been used.
Well, that's because also her Women's United States Championship run was so negligent.
Yeah,
we talked about this when she won it.
Negligent.
When she won it,
she deserves better.
They're not going to push her. What are they actually going to do with Zelina Vega as champion? And nothing.
Yeah.
So,
but at this point, I would retire the Raw tag titles and just create a mixed tag team title because of the fact that they're just, to your point, that's all we're getting lately. It's all these mixed tag teams.
But you can't.
I'm just saying, I feel like they have a stronger division there.
In the mixed tag team division versus the Raw division. You can't have a Raw tag team division if no one ever defends the titles. That's the problem. They never defend the titles.
That's what I'm saying. Get rid of them. We don't need them.
Move the Street Profits over back to Raw and then give me something else. Just if you're gonna get rid of the Raw Tag Team Championships, you're gonna have to unify those tag team titles again. And then have them go back and forth. We can't do that again because I feel like they just ununified the tag team titles because the Usos had them for like 2 years during the Bloodline story. And we were like, we need to figure out how to get more tag team titles. So they're not going to do that. Yeah. But this was SmackDown. SmackDown was great.
SmackDown was great.
What's your takeaway?
It's versus the MFTs is my number one takeaway because we're finally giving them the respect that they deserve and we're building them up the way that we're supposed to, right? Something that they haven't seemed to either be capable of or wanting to do with any of these factions or storylines and so on. Like, besides Seth and the Vision, they have not give a damn about any of their staples. Like they just been like,
what? Did you say staples?
I meant stables.
Okay.
Staples. So there's that, and then that with Zelina and Aleister, I think that can be very compelling.
Yeah.
Because Aleister's great, his gimmick is great. She's amazing. She's a great mouthpiece. I can only dream of the content that they can make.
You know why I
creative.
You know why I like them together, besides the fact that it just came to me as you were talking. Aleister has always, especially when it was Bray and Aleister there at the same time, he always came off like a light version of Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
And now with Karrion gone, he is now the only one really go in this manipulative, dark, and almost, I don't want to say antichrist, but very dark, dark religion type of thing, type of feud, type of person. But when he talks, a lot of his things are innuendo, subdued, and it's like, what is he really saying? By adding Zelina to him, you get the dichotomy of both. You can have him do his dark promos every once in a while, and then you can have Zelina talk and be very direct and very in your face about what they want to do.
Yeah.
Because he's very innuendo based and very, you don't know what I'm really saying, but this is what I'm really saying, and you have to analyze everything he says.
Yeah.
That's not going to be Zelina Vega. So Zelina Vega is going to be very cutting promos and in your face, and again, Puerto Rican from Queens, in your face promos. It's going to be, and I'm going to be really interested to see how they do that. I hope they just don't make her a dark version of herself and she sounds like him. Because if they start doing that, I'm going to roll my eyes every time.
Yeah. But also, I hope that they don't shut her up.
Yes.
That's another thing. Don't have her just,
be there,
being off to the wayside and just using her to cheat and stuff like that, like, and have her never speak. Like, that can't be a thing because she's amazing.
Almost make her the lead, if that makes sense. Like, Aleister is so dope, but make her the lead of the two of them. Like, Andrade, when his first championship run in WWE, he was the United States champion and he was the NXT champion. Zelina obviously had to talk for him, but Zelina was for lack of a better term, she was the Kiana James to Julia for Aleister. She was the front person for Andrade. She was the front person for Andrade. Let her do that for Aleister.
Yeah. Let
her be that person to lift him up and get him to the place that we want to see him be. We want to see Cody Aleister. I've been talking about this so much. We want to see Cody Aleister at one point. With Zelina being the front person, I think you can finally get it and finally make it compelling where Zelina can come out without Aleister Black and go toe-to-toe with the World Heavyweight Champion in the ring and cut really good promos on him. That's what I want to see.
So speaking about compelling, this is the first in a very long time that we have passed the hour mark on SmackDown and we've actually cared and not forced it or combined it with a pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
That speaks volumes.
Shows you how bad it's been.
Yeah. It's been pretty bad. This was in comparison, this was a great SmackDown. They did a lot in this show. A lot, and it didn't drag on and it didn't feel forced. It just felt natural. You let the players do exactly what their strengths are, and that's what I liked about this episode. It was peak. It was peak because nobody's, out of all the matches and everything, nobody really got hurt, but you elevated everybody.
Except for Kiana James.
I don't think that hurts her.
No, it doesn't hurt her because she doesn't matter.
She doesn't matter, and she's expected to take that loss. So I don't think, that's what I'm saying. I don't think anybody on this card got hurt.
Yeah.
Like
for me, it's the same two that you mentioned, and it's the same order. It's MFT's one and Zelina Aleister right there with them too. But I'm really interested to see what they do next week on SmackDown and if they can build on this momentum moving forward.
And that's the thing. It takes one episode to get everything right to suddenly now you're rolling. It takes one episode. The problem is they couldn't plant their feet for such a long time. Now this is the foundation. Like, this is the reset. Now you have the capability to really build on this and make a compelling show like Raw.
Raw some weeks isn't compelling. This week Raw was extremely compelling.
But I'm saying generally Raw is the better show.
Again, anchored by Seth Rollins and not anchored by Cody Rhodes. I hate to keep saying it, but when Cody Rhodes is the anchor of your show and he's not in a feud with a guy who's compelling enough to carry it, this is what we get.
I disagree. Here's
the only Cody Rhodes. Okay, go ahead.
The difference between Cody and Seth is that Seth has a lot going on. He has a feud with CM Punk. He has LA Knight on his ass. He's fighting with Jey Uso. Roman Reigns is back, and he keeps on messing with Bronson Reed. There's so much going on. Cody always has one person he's beefing with at a time, and it's never something that's compelling where you think that this is a person who's an actual threat who can take the belt. That's the difference. They fumbled the Drew McIntyre story because it was literally just to get to WrestlePalooza and have one match. Yep.
And the last time it was really compelling with Cody for me was going into Royal Rumble last year when he was facing Kevin Owens for the championships. Yeah. That was the last time. Yeah. Like not even at Mania this year where he was facing John Cena, and it was like, okay, we know Cena's gonna win at Mania. Yeah. It was gonna be what was coming out of Mania that was more compelling than going in. So it was just like, all right, whatever. But that's what I'm saying. He's uber baby face, and he needs somebody, a good heel across from him to make it compelling. He can have one compelling story and make it good, but he needs somebody to play. He needs somebody really good to play off.
That's my point. He doesn't have that. It's not necessarily a Cody problem. Granted, he's vanilla, and we're not the hugest fans of this guy. But again, if you have someone who's compelling on the other side, that's why we've been saying if you get him to feud with Aleister Black, that could be something. Because they are so opposite. And Cody, they positioned him to like represent the purest of pure. And then you have Aleister, who's the darkest of dark.
Who's a legitimate Satanist. You can literally, I don't think they'll play on that, but I think you can literally, they won't, but you can go in such a route where you're good and evil. Like, I need to save SmackDown from this.
And make it last more than just till the next pay-per-view and build it up for 2 weeks, because that's not going to work. You need it to be compelling where you actually think that this man might take the belt, even if he doesn't. And you know what? I feel Cody's better without the belt.
Babyfaces always needs to chase.
He needs something to chase. That's when he's compelling, when he's trying to, and even his promos and everything are way better when he's chasing something. The problem is when he catches it, he's just, I don't know, he's just bland.
Yeah.
And then you also know that he's not going to lose it for like a year or two. Like,
it's been a year and a half.
My point.
Like we said this a couple weeks ago. Between him and Roman, they've held that Universal Championship for nearly 6 years. Between two guys. So it needs to change. I'm not saying flip it every 2 months the way it used to be during the Attitude Era, where 1 year, I think they had 7 different champions in 1 year. But flip that title every once in a while. Give me a reason to think that some of these other guys can actually win. Yeah. Like I said, I thought Kevin Owens should have won it at Rumble, and then you could have done that until Mania. I understand why they did it. They wanted to see Cody at Mania. Fine. But there was no one in the last 10 months, 9 months, who I thought was going to take this title off of. I mean, he's a 2-time champion. He has been a year and a half. Cena had it. Yeah. I forgot about this. Cena had it for a couple months.
I thought that, but I didn't correct you because I was like, maybe I'm wrong. But I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm not.
Cena had it. No, Cena had it for a couple months. So yeah, so Cody, Cena, Roman for the last 6 years.
But think about everybody who's on SmackDown.
Cody's top tier guys. He's beating
everybody. The only people you got left is Aleister and Randy Orton.
And Damian Priest. I'm just saying.
I love Damian. He is not in a position to go for that title.
I'm aware. I'm just saying, of the top guys, he has not been Aleister, Damian, Randy Orton. Everybody else is vanquished.
Yeah.
Everybody else is vanquished.
And that's
Shinsuke.
The point.
No, he beat Shinsuke.
He beat Shinsuke.
He beat Shinsuke last year.
Mm-hmm. There's really nobody.
He beat AJ. AJ's on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it. I think that's the entirety of the men's division on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn's the United States champion.
Oh, sorry, and Jacob Fatu now.
He's beating Solo.
Jacob's not winning it.
Not yet.
Yeah, no, it's too early.
Not yet. He's beating Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. So that's the point. That's the difference between him and Seth.
Yeah.
So I don't blame Cody. I blame everything around Cody.
Yeah, I just having that style of babyface be champion is always not good to me.
Yeah. No, I agree. We're on the same page.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, that was SmackDown. All right. So thank you guys all for watching. Thank you guys all for commenting, subscribing on TikTok, YouTube's, and Spotify. And we will be back with you guys tomorrow for the Crown Jewel review that I'm going to make him watch right now. Actually, you can watch it tomorrow morning if anything.
So, as usual, you can catch us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube. And now the boy Harm has a TikTok of his own. We did not mention that last week, I think.
No, I think I said I'm going to create it either Monday or Tuesday is what I said on this.
But now it's official. My man has one.
You can follow me at the boy arm.
Yeah, and he already put up some content that I thought was stellar. I actually thought it was good, and then your commenting, going back and forth with people, was hilarious to me. I'm just laughing. I'm like, this guy stay not wanting to make TikToks, but then he makes good content, and then he gets into these arguments, which is what you love to do. So it made no sense. That's why I'm like, I don't understand the hatred that you don't want to do it, when literally that is when you're at your peak, when you're arguing with someone wrestling content wise.
So my TikTok, obviously we are wrestling podcasters and this is what we do. My TikTok will also be covering some basketball, maybe some other stuff as well, because I have comments on a lot of stuff, especially with basketball season coming up.
But mostly he said
mostly be wrestling.
Well,
and AEW and TNA.
That's what I was going to say. Not just wrestling, but all wrestling, in the sense
all
of
wrestling.
Other companies and things that I don't typically watch, he wants to make content on.
Oh, I want to talk about that Chris Statlander, Tony Storm promo they had from Collision last week when they were laying
down in the ring.
Yes. Oh my God, it was so stupid. It's like, what is this?
I thought you were going to say it was peak.
No, it was not. I was just looking at this. I'm like, what the hell is this garbage? Like, why?
I can't with you.
This is so bad.
You got to find the video first.
I will,
and then stitch it.
It'll be on the AEW page.
Oh, it's definitely there.
But yeah,
we appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you for all that you do, and we're gonna keep on making more content.
We'll be back tomorrow with our crown jewel. Somebody's calling me, Darwin Spider Pig. We'll be back on tomorrow with our crown jewel review as well.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.